everybody, you're watching the Vanessa JC show on ARMRecordsTV.com, and we're here with the group members and the manager and everybody that's affiliated with A.R.M Records right here today on my show. And everybody, just please introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
What up, it's your boy O.Nitty, Young Nitty, I run the city, huh?
It's your girl K.O.
Ali-Quan, CEO on Records. Yes.
Okay, welcome. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's just get right into it. So Ali, what is A.R.M Records? Like, what is it about? You know, tell us how it got started and what does A.R.M mean? A.R.M.
Well, the beginning of the company started with me and Nitty, of course, and then my partner, of course, Anthony. You know, always playing in the background. But it started with us three with the idea of actually putting our own thing together as a unit. You know what I mean? Instead of having somebody say, well, we're gonna control y'all do this, y'all do that, we said, nah, we're gonna do it ourselves. The company first started with a conversation me and Nitty had, and my partner over there in the background. We decided to do our own thing. You know what I mean? As far as like pushing the company, pushing him, and say, let's do this as a partnership. You know what I mean? Because he's really into music, and I was into business. So we said, let's combine it and make it one. And the answer to your second question, what the A and the R and the M stand for, is all real music. And basically that is to say, like, if artists come over here, we like them to be themselves, express who you are. You know, whether you into the gangster, the street rapper, whatever the case may be, that. You know what I mean? Be real with it. If you into the ladies, swag it out. Be into the ladies. If you're a conscious rapper, be that. So basically just saying, you know, be yourself, be who you are, be real. That's what we like, and we accept that.
So how do you go through the selection process of who should be signed to your record label?
Me personally, I think it's talent. I think, you know, the artist has to be pretty much ready to go. You know what I mean? We independent, so, you know, we don't have the luxury of time to groom a lot of artists, the luxury of time to, like, put everything we got to put into the artist. You know what I mean? So I like them to be pretty much talented already, groomed, seasoned, ready to go. You know, I mean, and some stuff, you know, they might need help with, that's fine, but, you know, not straight from the beginning, just raw. Not just like we got to take them from the bottom all the way to the top. We want them coming in hungry, ready to go. Like, this is what they've been doing, but we just need y'all as A.R.M Records to push us forward. I mean, so that's what I like more so in selecting the artists, is the talent, being seasoned, being ready to go.
Okay. So Nitty, you just released an album called Evelyn's Oldest Son, correct?
Yep.
So tell us more about that project. And who's on that project? Who did you work with? You know, music producers and all that stuff.
Well, this has been an album that's been in the process for a while. After my mom's passed away from HIV, this was something like my counseling really to kind of deal with all the feelings I was dealing with inside, you know, coming up. Thank you. Coming up as a young adult, you know, not having a father around, I turned to music. And after she passed away, I always wanted to do something to dedicate to her. So, you know, it took me a while, a couple of years actually, to put this album together. And it really just basically told my part of my life and part of my mother's life, and, you know, how she raised a man. And, you know, as far as the artists I work with, really, this album I kind of just wanted to be me, you know, so it's not a lot of features. I mean, I work with different producers, like my cousin BK from Double X Posse, a few other producers, but this album I just wanted the fans to understand where I was coming from and my whole story. So, you know, the next project, I think in the future, I'm kind of gonna get into more features and working with different artists and other producers.
So tell us about your style, your flow, your, you know, your grizzy.
Oh, my grizzy? Well, a lot of people say, you know, my music is commercial. I make a lot of music for the ladies. I don't say I make a lot of music for the ladies. I just say a lot of ladies love my music, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I continue down that road and that path. Plus, they support quicker than the fellas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then my philosophy is, fellas just want to be where the ladies at. So if I bring the ladies, the fellas gonna follow, you know, and that's how it's been happening over the years. You know what I'm saying? My music, if I had to kind of put it in a category, I would say it's commercial. You know, it's very easy listening, regardless of the records that I'm making, whether it's street records about my life, or you know, for the ladies, it's just very easy listening. And they bangers, they hot. You know, I just make hot music. That's all I concentrate on.
Now,
let me just touch on the album just a little bit. Another great thing about that album is it doesn't what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't discriminate against age. It's like any age limit can put that in their system and ready to go. You don't have to say, oh, this is for the youngest, this is for the old age. It's for whoever. And when you hear it, you'll understand, oh, I get it now. Anybody can listen to this. So it's like now the buyers ain't stuck on what this about. Is this for me or is it not for me? It's for everybody. You know, it's a great album.
Definitely is. Okay. Now, you, O.Nitty, and Ali-Quan, you're both owners of A.R.M Records.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me your role and then tell me your role as a private company.
Well,
Are you just an artist?
No, I'm actually an artist and I'm a CEO of A.R.M Records. I'm an artist first on A.R.M Records. I have a lot of respect for this man. The way he approached me, like I said, I've been doing this music for so long, and he knew that. So when we first became partners, or we first had that first meeting, you know, he respected my grind. And instead of just saying, hey, I just want to manage you and we just kind of go conquer the world or we look for a deal, he said, I respect you so much that I want to start this partnership with you. You know, I want you to be a part of the music side, the business side, as well as being an artist. And that's how we formed A.R.M Records. You know, it's kind of hard because I have two hats to fill. You know, I have deadlines as an artist on mixtapes and videos and albums, and then on the business side, I also got to make sure the budget is good. You know, other artists that we're bringing on to the label, they're good. You know, it's a lot of expenses that has to be paid for, but it's a good experience because I'm learning. You know, one day once I fall back from being an artist, I will have the business side just to concentrate on in whole. You know, so it's a good experience. It's good.
Ali?
It's almost similar to what he said, but mainly for me it's just strictly on business. You know, I play with the music a little bit, like, yeah, I like that, nah, I don't like that, do this, maybe this will work, and that's as far as it goes, because I trust in him as an artist to just say, yo, you know, I pretty much got this. And so when it comes to business, that's where I kind of like flourish in mainly. You know, what ideas, how to push the company forward, to you know, to make sure that the company grows further than where we at now. And with doing all that, it's a great experience because I get to learn the music side too. So I get to come in the studio and sit with him and say what this button is for. You know what I mean? What I push this for. Sometimes
So you do the beats? Are you
Nah.
So who's doing the engineering?
Me. All right, so I'm about to break it down to you.
Yeah.
For years, I've been going into the studio, and I pay an engineer to record my music. So I'm sitting there over the years. I'm like, you know, this is something I can do. You know, once Pro Tools was introduced to the music scene, I was like, you know, this is something I'm interested in doing and saving money. So I started investing in myself and buying studio equipment. Before you know it, I had a full functional studio. So I started recording myself. It was crazy. He came in and I was running in and out the booth, and he's like, what you doing? I'm like, this is how I record myself. You know, I want to be in control of my own sound. I don't want no one behind the booth, you know, behind the board sending me half-ass music, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna learn everything and I'm gonna control my own sound. So I record every song you hear, I mix every song you hear, whether it's coming from myself or KO. I work with R&B groups like True Soul. I recorded their whole album, mixed their whole album. So, you know, it's not, I do this, like when I say I do this, it's not just rapping. You know, I'm behind the boards, I'm making sure the sound is good. We in the studio, you know, we do a session, I take it home, I mix it, send it back to her, or send it to Ali-Quan, any
Changes
changes.
that needed to be made.
Yeah.
I can show you
He's on
text
it.
messages that are crazy, like change this, change that, but
that's the I would have to say the beauty in it.
yeah, yeah,
After that, the back and forth. I mean, from all three of us.
right.
You know, she hit me like, oh, I don't really like this, and I'm like, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. Then we gotta turn around and send them ideas to him, and then he'll be like, man, y'all want all this change again, like. But in the end, the product comes out perfect. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a process. It's not like you go in, record, and then just put out there.
Yeah.
It's not like that. But
And it's a team effort, seems
and,
like,
yeah.
which is
and
good.
that's what makes it
Yeah.
beautiful. You know what I mean? And it works.
And you know what? Like
So-
this is something like I tell artists to invest in yourself. Not just with money. Learn. Like you gotta learn this business. You gotta learn this game. Like you're gonna sit there and pay someone $50 an hour to engineer your session is something that you can learn. The media makes it so easy. Something you don't know, you YouTube it, Google it. I mean, they have steps on how you can get anything you want accomplished, and that's what I do. I don't know something, I tell them, I Google it. I sit on YouTube every night if it's something I don't know to get it accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So it's fun. Like to me, it's fun. Yeah, her alarm just went off.
Sorry.
That's how we do it. But
Yeah.
we keep it moving now.
Exactly.
Hey, that's what happens on the Vanessa
That's
JC
it.
show. It's a
It's
whole bunch of
business.
ruckus.
It's business.
The dog laying here,
That's
shut
right.
it out. That's how we
If
do
the
it.
phone don't ring, money don't come
That's
in. You
it.
know what I mean? So.
So let's talk to KO now. So KO is the latest
KO.
member of
Yes.
A.R.M Records.
Yes.
First, tell me, how did you meet these guys? How do you know them? How did they approach you? And how are they treating you as a woman?
All right. Well, my story.
Do they
is
treat you
kinda-
any differently?
Yeah, my story is kind of interesting actually. I met these guys. I was supposed to be on a show, doing a show with them.
Like a showcase?
Yes. And I was actually with another team at the time, and we had a fallout, and it just so happened, what I'm saying, when one door closes, another door opens, and that's the situation, and that's how I met these guys. And so far, man, I love these dudes, man. I have learned so much, just being here. And, they support me. I support them. It's teamwork. And, we make it happen.
This industry we're in is very shady. And you said you had a falling out
Yeah.
with the last group.
Yeah.
So how do you be able to trust another group to, be a part of?
To be honest with you, it's just, I guess just coming in and just observing everybody's character. You know what I'm saying? I've been around, I've been talking to him. Just so far, just knowing their character as businessmen, period, just lets me know it's a difference. What I've dealt with in the past. And I feel safe.
How long
and
have
let me,
you?
and let me just
Well,
touch on
how
that.
long have you guys? How long ago did you meet?
We working on a few months now.
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
3 to
okay.
4. And I just want to touch on that a little bit. When people say like, they have certain fallouts with other people, so sometimes it's just not that. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. You know what I mean? For whatever the reason is. So it's like, because you don't want to make people feel like, that they were the bad guy because something didn't work out. You know what I mean? And that's not really what this is about. Because if you look at a lot of artists from the Logs and, Mace, whoever else, you know what I mean? When it didn't work out, they moved on with the Rough Riders and that's it. But it's still a lot of respect. They have Puffy, they're still cool, they're still friends. And that just goes on in the industry all the time. So, sometimes we don't want to make it appear like, oh, well, when somebody have a fallout, it's a beef or it's a problem. It's not that. It's those guys, we know them, got a lot of respect for them. We actually cool. We talk, I call them, make sure everything's cool and we move forward. I think that's the most important part.
So you knew the other people?
Yes, definitely. And we cool. You know what I mean? So like I said, I reached out to him first out of respect to make sure everything was cool, you know what I mean? And he was like, nah, man, it just didn't work out. Go ahead, y'all do your thing. And I think in business, I think that's how it should be.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And just respect and you move on, and there's no love lost, you know what I mean? It's still my man to this day. You know what I mean? It's just when one thing don't work out for an artist, it's just business, you know what I mean? They decide they want to move and try it and you handle it the right way and you move on. You know what I mean? It's just important that we touch on that because a lot of times, people want to make it more than what it is. And it's never the case. You know what I mean? Personally, you know, the two people they deal with, you know, themselves or how they deal with each other in the future. But business-wise, it's just a part of it. You know, we just move on, and that's just it.
Now, being a female in a male-dominated field, industry, how do you cope with, you know, the aggressiveness and the disrespect? I mean, do they come at you in a different way? Do they treat you any differently? I'm not talking about these gentlemen, just saying in general.
It really doesn't bother me. I'm not here to compete with men. I'm not here to compete with women. I'm just here to make music. And, you know, it doesn't bother me at all. Do I get treated differently? Nah, I really don't. Maybe the way they look at me because of the way I dress and stuff like that. They don't look at me as a, you know, like, ooh, I can hit that or anything like that. It's straight music, you know. I get a lot of respect from men, you know, so I don't feel any type of way. Don't feel dominated, don't feel like, you know.
That's because she's a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she gets in there and handle business.
How is your sound? What's your style?
I'm lyrical. You know, I'm lyrical. I talk about real things. I don't talk about twerking or doing none of that type of stuff. I don't talk about things that I don't have. I talk about real life situations I go through. Sometimes I'm too in detail with things, but that's just me as an artist and me venting. You understand that? And, you know, that's just what I do.
Okay. Do you think hip-hop has changed since when, well, of course it's changed, but do you think it's changed for the better from the past?
Yeah, I think it was more female rappers, you know, back then. I think there needs to be a lot more, but I think it's coming. I definitely think it's coming. You know, I watch a show now, which is on Oxygen TV, you know, and Sisterhood of Hip Hop? Yeah, I watched that show, and I think it's coming. I think we're in a good direction. We getting there.
Okay, Ali, how do you describe Nitty and KO?
That's a good question. Nitty, I would have to describe as just, like I said, seasoned, just ready to go. You know what I mean? From, you know, just the experience alone, the music, you know. I hate to even try to talk about his performance because it's an understatement.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Like you got to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that and just, like I said, seasoned, you know, determined to make this whole thing work. You know what I mean? And when you have somebody like that, it kind of makes my job and what I'm doing a lot more easier. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, all I gotta do is push you. Oh, that's easy. Like, I ain't gotta do nothing else. You know what I mean? So it's like, cause he is just ready to go. It's seasoned. And as far as KO, it's the passion that I like. That her passion is just crazy, and the determination, and willing to, like, you know, not back down from a challenge. You know what I mean? I say, listen, you know, try this. You know, see how it go. You know what I mean? I know you might not like it, you might not be feeling it, but let's just see. And it's just okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, with that go a long way, because it's always the record that you like the most that don't go nowhere. And it's always the one you put to the shelf to rise to the top. You know what I mean? And you get a lot of artists like that, or they have a A side and a B side, but the B side end up being the dope record. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I like about her. And then it's like I said, she ready to go also, and we recorded songs back to back. It was like one song we done, then we on to the next. Like maybe 5-6 records in, 2 weeks time. You know what I mean? We're just getting with a new team. So, you know what I mean? And that's pretty good. You know, in my view.
Now I know you're the label. Are you also their manager?
I don't.
Would that be a conflict of interest?
Not really, but I think we all, as far as me and Nitty, we play both roles. Like, you know, because it's.
Because they need a manager.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, we kind of like play a role of everything. You know what I mean? Like, when there's something to handle, I handle it, and if I can't, he handle it. You know what I mean? So it's like this company kind of takes care of itself. You know what I mean? If we get to that point where it's like, okay, we're growing and it's getting big, now I might have to call somebody in to actually manage the artist because I still have this to do. But right now we're in a good space to where, you know, I can play that role, I can play the CEO, and he can play that too, because really, he has to manage her to a certain extent. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's, you know, the safe way to answer that is to say we, you know, play both roles. you know, the manager, the CEO, and that's just probably my job.
I really need KO to get that sweater off your chin. Can you? Thanks, KO. Yeah.
Is that in there?
Yeah, you take care of him.
Yeah, cause I wasn't know. We cool, but we ain't that cool for me to touch y'all on your chest, dog.
You know, it's how I want somebody to get it done.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by having my back. That's all I want. You know what I mean?
Now, KO, you recorded 5 songs on
Definitely.
A.R.M Records, and Nitty, I guess he did all the tracks for you.
Yes, he did.
Now,
Yeah, that's my go-to guy, man.
Now, were you satisfied with the tracks initially, like right away, or did he have to come to you with some more or different options?
I mean, you know, sometimes it gets right then and there, and then sometimes, you know, you hear a few things that you just have to correct. He doesn't care about that. You know, he doesn't take it personally. It is what it is, you know, and he fixes it.
So were these tracks already made for you? I mean, were they already like somewhere in a vault and then he presented them to you, or he like made them from scratch, you know, according to knowing what you like?
Well, as far as you mean the beat selection,
The beats, yeah.
Okay, no, that was, you know, he may hear a beat.
Okay.
Ali-Quan may hear a beat, Nitty may hear a beat, I may hear a beat, and we just, you know, like, here, this is for you. You want to use this, and they'll leave it up to me to, you know, say, okay, I'll roll with that. That's how it normally works.
Okay.
See, I think over the weeks of working with KO, we kind of got familiar with her sound. So I can hear something and say, hey, I think KO would sound dope over that, you know, and present it to her. And like I said, it's just a beat that's presented. She may use it, she may not use it, but the good thing that we're used to her sound now. So, you know, we can all just kind of get into a beat selection, and then that will help like the process of recording. It speeds it up a little bit. And you know, like I said, me being on the engineering end, if she needs something changed or she hears something differently, and she may hit me with a text or call me and say, hey Nitty, I need this change, I need that change. Like, I'm cool. Like, she may fight things like she's aggravating me, but
I'll be like, sorry.
I love it. Know what I mean? I throw it on the Pro Tools, throw it up, chop it up, send it back to her. Know what I mean? And we good. And you know, I'm telling her this is what I do. I've been doing this before her. I'm gonna do it with her, and I'm gonna do it with, you know, hopefully it won't be without her, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just want her to know, like, this is my passion, like, this is what I do. So you're not bothering me when you hit me up wee hours in the morning, whatever it is, to say, hey Nitty, yo, can you add this? Can you take that out? Like, this is what we do to make this hit records. That's, I mean, we sacrifice a lot, and that's why I want her to understand, like, I sacrifice a lot, and whatever you hear, we gonna make it happen. We gonna make it right.
Now, what's your favorite song?
My favorite song, when you're taking back shots of Patron, cause a bad bitch riding you home, turn and say, let me hit it.
Let me hit it.
Definitely that song.
Is that about sex?
No, I mean, it could be about sex. It could be about sex. It could be also about.
I mean, I
Everything in
hear
there.
back shots.
You
So
know,
I don't.
I'm gonna
it
pass
could
on
also.
that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It could also be about smoking. You know,
Back
however
shots?
you take it. When you take the
Drinking.
back shots of Patron,
Oh.
Throwing them back. Throwing
You know?
them back.
Okay.
like the shot I had just before the interview,
Was it Patron?
but it was Ciroc.
Oh, okay.
And to touch on one other thing too is when you were saying, like, you know, as far as getting the young records, and is it just right the first time when you hear it? And this Kim is never right the first time.
Never.
Never right the first time.
Let me
like,
touch on that after you, man.
and I'm gonna let her finish it, but it's never right because, you know, you just, like with music, man, you hear something and then you go home and you hear something different, you know what I mean, over and over. And sometimes me in the studio, I hear it then, you know what I mean, and be like, hey, I think that ain't right. You know, we gotta change it, we gotta do this. And she'll tell you, I guess.
Yeah, I'm so used to going in the booth and just recording and coming out of there like, okay, that's it. When I'm in the booth, and I've noticed since I've been with them, this man right here, he's like Ike, and I'm like Tina Turner. Like
without the physical abuse though, without the physical abuse.
If it ain't right, you gotta do it over, keep doing it over. Like, it's real rough.
Oh, that sounds more like Joe Jackson and Michael Jackson.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Without the physical abuse, without the physical abuse.
It's real rough. You know what I'm saying? It's real rough, but I appreciate it. Because the sound, after you hear it, it's like, yeah, this was worth it. So he pushes me.
Do you
They
guys
both
ever
push
fight?
me. Not yet.
Not
Not
yet. I
yet.
guess not yet. Gotcha. Now you know I think
normal.
I think it me personally and my character it'll never be a fight. It'll be more of a disagreement, and then we agree about it. You know what I mean? Because it's like with music, is you're gonna have so many different opinions. You know what I mean? And one gonna feel like, oh, theirs should win over than the other ones. But me, I'm more personally into the artists have to be more satisfied than me. Because I know a lot of times, you know, CEOs or people that run companies don't be in tune to the music real deep. So it's like my way or the highway. You know what I mean? But it's like the artists know what they want. You know what I mean? They know what they, you know, as far as what they feeling in the music. So you kind of gotta let them, you know, ultimately have the last say so. But you just give your opinion about the record, and that's it. But like I said, a fight, I doubt it ever. Just be more of a disagreement, and then we end up agreeing.
Do you see A.R.M Records in the next 5 years?
Oh,
or in the near future?
That's a real good question.
You didn't plan?
Yeah, I did, but I'm gonna make a better answer, but it's cool. Well, naturally, I see us in the you know, way further than where we are with at least a shitload of artists, but you know, good ones, we're talented, and expanding the company as a brand. You know, then more so only just A.R.M Records. You know, we wanted to be get into a lot of things. You know, fashion. We would get into naturally, we definitely want to have our own studio where, you know, we can concentrate on everything being inside the camp, you know, so we have everything under, you know, pretty much under control musically. And you kind of foresee the projects, you know, a lot better than, you know, going here and going there and possibly having a lot of things leak out, you know, so that's one of the major plans too. And, you know, just growing, just getting bigger than what we are, you know, business-wise, commercial-wise, you know, whatever it takes. If something come across the table that benefits us to help the company, we'll look at it, you know, no matter what it is, you know, because in this business once you grow, a lot of people come to you with a lot of things, but it has to make sense. You know what I mean? So, you know, I would say in the next 5 years, just way bigger than what we are. Way bigger.
Now, how do you break into the mainstream industry? And do you think hip hop is commercial now? Straight commercial music?
I think you have a little bit of both. Commercial, you know, and underground, you know, especially with the battle rapping now, like that's getting big, and was considered underground and it's coming up commercially. But as far as the game itself, it's just going to get bigger. Like, you know, they said hip hop was going to be dead 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's still here. And then you got to respect, you know, the up and coming youngins that's in the game too. The music changes and people think it's supposed to stay the same, and it doesn't. So you got to respect that. On top of the fact that being in the business, I'm lost my train of thought real quick. But being in the business, commercial wise, not going away neither. Because at the end of the day, you need hit records. You know what I mean? And as far as, you know, the battle rapping, I think Lil Wayne made one good point. He said when people battle rapping for the moment, it's like, whoa, that's hot. But the next day, you don't remember what they said. But a hit record, you remember that 20 years later. It never goes nowhere. You know what I mean? So commercially, it's just always going to be around.
How do you market yourself, and how do you brand the company?
Just continue to work nonstop. You know what I mean? Just everything A.R.M Records, no matter what it is. You know what I mean? The artist, you promote the artist as an artist, and you put A.R.M Records behind it. You know what I mean? And you just keep pushing. Like the minute you stop, that's when it's over. You know what I mean? So as long as you keep going and you keep coming up with ideas and you know, sitting down, having meetings, going over your program and thinking about what you can do, then you do it. And nowadays with social media, it's just easy to win. You know what I mean? Because everything's free, it's right there. So you just gotta give them something that the people like. And then they're gonna gravitate to it regardless, as long as they like it. You know what I mean? So marketing and branding is done got a lot easier now than it did back in the day. You know, because you didn't have what you have now. And just nonstop work, just continue to work.
Do you think KO is a good performer?
Definitely. I watched her perform, and you know, she has the energy, but she picked up certain things. She saw Nitty was like, oh, I learned something, and that's what I mean about the beauty of the team.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Nitty,
what I mean?
my first experience, you know, with these guys, first show, man, I saw Nitty get on stage, man. When I say the ladies, man, this lady, he's a ladies' man, like seriously. He got on stage, he did his thing, he was so comfortable, he was interacting with the fans, and I learned so much from him that day. You know what I'm saying? The confidence, you know, he real smooth, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I try to make it do what it do, you know what I'm saying? Now, it just come from years of performing, you know. I always was taught that you have to perform with your all, whether it's 5 people or it's just 5 million people, you know.
True,
So
true.
I even, you know, I said that to KO one of our shows, you know, you gotta perform, you gotta give it your all, you gotta connect with the fans. That's how you gain fans, you know. You connect with them. They may be feeling some type of way at the show, they may not want to be bothered, but if you look at me, if you get a head nod, a clap, or if I get a smile, I'm going in and you're gonna enjoy the music. You're gonna enjoy my show. So like I said, it's just from years of experience, you know, performing and just being an all around artist. You know, you're taught that, and just really just looking at the artists that been there before you, the Big Daddy Kanes and you know the Eric B's, and you know how they controlled a crowd. Even if the DJ fucked up or the music skipped, like you still gotta be in control of that crowd. You know, if you have technical difficulties, you gotta be able to move that crowd. So when I tell people to do your homework and study these people that been doing it before you, I'm saying it for a reason, because when you get on that stage and if it happened to you, you can't be like, hold up, time out, you know, let's start it over. You gotta
Well, back
stay in
then they
motion.
also had artist development, so
Right.
we don't have that.
Oh no,
today.
definitely not.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what I kind of touched on earlier. You know what I mean? When you have you know, these major companies, they have the resources to develop an artist. You know what I mean? It's okay. But even them, they don't even want that now. Like when artists get signed today, they pretty much already popping. So they really got more control of their career, because now they can say, no, I don't want that deal. No, you got to give me this. You know what I mean? It kind of like pushed the artist development stage out the window, because they got to spend so much on developing that artist. And that's what I mean about now. I like to look for artists that just talent, ready to go. Not like I said, they may
Well,
still
they
need some
still need
grooming.
they still need practice. They still need
That's what I
media
mean, yeah,
training.
yeah.
They still need, you know
Of
what I mean.
course,
They
yeah.
still need to know that they have to captivate
The crowd.
the
and
crowd.
audience,
You know,
yeah.
because you can still have talent and not be able to really
Well, that's what I mean.
capture
But
your
that-
audience.
yeah,
you know
that-
what I mean?
I think a lot of that get swallowed up too with what I don't like as a performer. I don't like an artist that's on stage with a million people, because you lose focus of the artist and its true talent. Like you're on stage to control the crowd, to entertain me. So I don't want 20 or 15 or 25 people on stage, you know, with you bouncing around. Half of them don't know the lyrics to the song. It's just too confusing. Everybody got a microphone. If you look at anything of my footage, no one's on stage with me. No one. I don't have a hype man. I don't have backup singers. I don't have dancing. I don't have none of that. Nothing to confuse you, because I want you to connect with me. You know, I'ma find you. You in the back of the room. I'm getting off the stage and I'm coming. And you don't know. You're gonna know. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting off the stage and I'm gonna find you. And during my sessions or my set, you're not engaging in any conversations on the side. You're not texting, because I would take your phone and bring it on stage with me, and you gotta come get it. You know what I mean? And it's that's my way of connecting with you. You know, you're there for me to entertain you, and that's part of my entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
And when I talk about the talent, and you know, I meant more or less like musically. You know what I mean? Like I want them ready on that side. I understand, you know, there are other parts they may need help in. But if you're an artist, I'll at least be already ready musically wise. Like then we can talk about the interviews. We can talk, you know, we can get to that stage. You know what I mean? But when you coming in, for me, I like, oh, he hot, or yo, she hot. You know what I mean? The rest, I'll work that out. You know what I mean? But I can't come in and you saying, well, I'm not sure. What you mean by 16 bars? You understand what I'm saying? Like you just writing songs and that's just it. That's not. I could do without that.
So, Kaya, what upcoming projects do you have in the works?
Well, I have my mixtape coming up, man. It's called From Khadija to KO.
Yeah.
And basically,
Khadija
from Khadija.
Your real
that's
name?
my real
Your
name.
government name?
Yeah, that's my real name. And
how did you get KO? Is that like
man,
yayo?
To be honest with you, no.
You got yayo with you?
No.
Oh.
I don't got no yayo with me no more. No more. Nah. Basically, I don't know, man. An idea just came to me one day, and I ran with it. I really ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
Really ran with it. And let everybody know I ran with it. But yeah, it's called From Khadija to KO. It basically explains the old me and the new me that the guys seeing now.
What's the old you?
Oh, lost. All over the place. Just all over the place, man. Emotionally, mentally, and everything.
I gotta send you the artwork to that mixtape too, because when you see it, it just explains it even more. Like you could just see two pictures and the total difference in both pictures. And that's why it was so easy to just think about that title. From Khadija to KL, it was perfect.
No direction. No direction. No direction. I feel like I got a lot of direction right now. And I thank these guys for it. Especially Ali-Quan. You know what I'm saying? We got a connection, man. We all do.
I stay on
We
it.
all do. Yeah.
That's good.
I stay on it too, but he ignores my phone calls and my texts and
Hey,
stuff like that.
I'll be busy, man. I think, the beauty of A.R.M Records is more than music. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have personal problems, personal issues, like we still have personal lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's things that we go through that you can't or you won't really talk to your best friend or the person you're with in a relationship with, but I can reach out to my extended family and say, hey,
just like he did today,
Right.
because I was actually going through something right now,
Right.
really serious, and that's why I needed like 2 shots of Ciroc. You know what I'm saying? And he reached out to me. I called him first, you know what I'm saying, and I talked to him about my problems, and he reached out to me, and that meant a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, I just want to make sure you okay,
For
and
real.
that meant a
For
lot
real.
to me.
Can you share it with us? Or is it
Nah.
you want to keep it to yourself?
Then we're gonna
Yeah, I
save
keep
it
to
from
myself.
Khadija to KL.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Okay.
save it for the mixtape.
We'll put it in the music.
Yeah.
But it's like, I had to make sure she was all right. I was on my way up from PA and I reached out to her and was like, yo, you good? Because if you're not good, then we not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. Like,
And that's another thing is being an artist, man. Like, no matter what you're going through, shit still has to go on.
Gotta go.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, today was my worst days of being in this interview. And this man was like, yo, you gotta, like, get your head straight. You know what I'm saying? Focus on this interview. So, with all this shit going on, I'm going over the questions. Like, I'm still focused. You gotta be like that. You gotta block it out. And that's exactly what I did. You know?
I hope, it gets better,
It
whatever's
definitely
happening.
will, man.
And,
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think that's like Nitty touched on it, and that kind of answers most of the first question. As far as what is A.R.M Records, it's just more than an independent label. It's a family too. You know what I mean? It's like you wanna feel that. So it's like you don't have a disconnect when something goes on. You don't have to run and hide. You know what I mean? You can say, man, I had a fucked up night. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be, and your comrades is there. You know what I mean? And then after we deal with that, then we get to the music.
right.
You know what I mean?
That was like, my biggest thing of once I became a solo artist, creating a company, it was more than business. Like, it had to be family first. Like, whoever I got down with had to believe in my dream more or as much as I did. So Ali-Quan proved that. Anthony Bowles, the president of the company, proved that. KO was proving that. They want the same thing I want because I take this seriously. So if I'm down with someone that's not taking it seriously, we're gonna have friction and we have to go separate ways.
Yeah, it's
like
not gonna work.
you gotta put your heart into this, and I see that in KO. KO puts her heart in this. Like I said, we've been dealing with each other for a couple of months, and the way she's knocking these songs out and coming up with these ideas, her mind is just always on music, like 24/7. Even though she going through problems, and in her personal issues, her mind is still on music. Like, she's still focused. Like, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, she's still making the appointment. She's showing up. You know what I mean?
also need that push, man. Because
Yeah,
if
definitely.
it wasn't for that, I probably would be like, I don't feel like doing
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But you
yeah.
gotta have
Yeah.
somebody there to be like, nah, let's go.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah.
Game
Appreciate
face
that.
on.
Snap back.
Yeah,
snap
snap
back
back
into
reality.
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
So now, what projects do you have coming up?
Ah, man. Quite a few right now. You know, actually, what's today's date? The
Shoot, I know.
4th?
You know, we
Well,
all
the 15th.
the 5th.
Today is the
October.
5th.
The
The
15th.
15th?
October.
15th of what?
I'm sorry.
Today's the
She had
5th?
too many
Jumping.
I
shots.
told her she had a bad night.
I'm jumping.
Well, October
Yeah, that's the
3rd
5th.
made a 1-year anniversary for my album, Evelyn's Oldest Son.
Yeah.
We dropped it a year ago. Still available. You can go get that on OnRecords.com. What camera I'm in? Nah, you can go get that on OnRecords.com. But what I got coming up, I'm also working on a new project, a mixtape called The Other Side.
That's side of what?
The Other Side
Nitty.
of O.Nitty.
Yeah,
You know,
Is it
I gave
are
you.
you like a devil? Like, what is it?
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
You
You know, over the years and in Elias projects, you know, I've been given a lot of, you know, kind of commercial records, you know, radio records, and like I said, records for the ladies, and just telling about my life now. But I don't want people to forget that I do this. I have bars, you know, like this is where I started from. So I'm kind of taking you back to where I started from, and picked up the mic and started rapping, and you know, so you're getting the other side of O.Nitty. It's gonna be more of the rawness, you know, a lot more features that I'm dealing with. I'm working with an artist from Philly, working for a couple of artists from Jersey City, the Heat, Crisis, you know, different artists. So you're gonna get a whole different side of O.Nitty. I also have a book coming out next year called O.Nitty. The O.Nitty story, Evelyn's Oldest Son. You know, this is a book I've been working on for a couple of years, and it's really just like the opposite of the album. The album I gave you my story musically, and this right here is just for the readers. I get more detailed into my life, and you know how my mother passed away and how she contracted the disease, and how I had to become a father figure for my younger brother, and different avenues and drugs I experiment with, and you know, and it's hard. Yeah,
Just telling the story.
it's hard. It's me reading back of everything I wrote is hard, because you know I experienced all of this at a young age. You know, I was still in high school when my mom's passed, so to deal with that, it was very hard. It was very hard. So you know, that's one of my projects I have coming out. Book, the mixtape. Shortly I'll be working on my second studio album. I don't have a title yet, but I know that's in the works. And right now, just kind of concentrating on expanding the brand. You know, we still looking for artists. Working on KO mixtape as well. She'll be shooting a video very soon. We about to gear up to shoot another video for a single I have out right now called I'm Just Trying to Party.
Shout out to Marksman Films.
Oh yeah, you already know
Yeah.
Marksman Films be lacing me up, you know. We just finished up a shoot last week for a song I'm about to drop called Shake It Up. So you know, we got a lot going on over here in Records. Next year, we missed it this year, but next year we're gonna do a back to school drive for the kids, give back, you know, a bunch of school supplies. Like it's important as an artist, that kind of helps build your resume that you're not just a rapper. I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist, you know, and
Human being.
right.
Yeah.
And God blessed me to put me on this stage where I can kind of give back to someone, you know, whether it's through music, books, you know, supplies, you know, just to help out, you know, and that makes me feel good and blessed. And on any level I do it at, I feel like I'm successful, you know. Like I don't feel like, oh, because you don't see me on TV, I'm not successful. Like I'm good. I have a company that I'm running. I'm putting out music. I have fans that support, and I love it.
Oh, and we had our first annual barbecue cookout this summer.
When, where? I didn't know anything about it. Why wasn't I invited? Excuse my language, but that's fucked up.
It's very fucked up. Like, but
I thought we were better than that.
No, I slipped that one. I really did. And you know what happened was when we came up with the idea, it just came so fast, and everybody like was so, you know, anxious to support it. Like, it just crept up on us, but it turned out wonderful, man. It was free. We provided all the food, all the drinks. We provided the volleyball game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had an intense, very intense volleyball game going on. They try to play me out, KO. But my team always came out on top. You already know.
Nah, it ended up actually.
How many games did y'all play?
We played 4.
Oh.
And it ended up a tie.
Yeah,
they had like
quick.
30 people on their team. We still won. It's cool though.
And we ain't even gonna debate that, but
we'll see you next year. Don't worry about it.
True.
Don't worry about
You gonna be on our team?
Yeah, I'm gonna be on. I had a knee surgery.
Wait, let me say it right. Our team, mean us. So now I'm going to say you're gonna be on my team, because me and him on 2 different teams.
I'm gonna try to incorporate some kickball up in there, though.
Yeah.
Just volleyball, some kickball.
He can have her. She already stated she got a knee injury, so that's cool. That's cool right there. That's fine.
She telling me.
It's hey, that's just a decoy.
That's all it is.
But really quick before I let you go, I want to touch back on family. How does your work interfere with your family? Because if you're a ladies' man and you're going into the audience and grabbing women out the audience and bringing them on a stage, and Lord knows whatever else you're doing on a stage with these women, how does your family feel about that? Do they see this?
Yeah, definitely.
It's entertainment.
I'm an entertainer. Like serious question. Like I'm an entertainer. I don't do anything disrespectful. I'm not up there groping women and kissing them, and I may dance with them and just show them a good time. But I'm not up there doing anything disrespectful, because at the end of the day, when them lights go off, like you said, I'm a family man. So I have a family to go to. So I'm not up there to make my family members mad or disrespect them, But at the same time, they know this is entertainment, and I'm great at entertaining. That's it. You gotta come to O.Nitty show and you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna come watch. KO, what about you?
Well, for me, it's more so as far as the timing, man. My grandmother, for one, she loves to see her granddaughter, and I'd be like, Grandma, I gotta go to the studio.
Does she cringe when you curse though?
I don't never curse in front of my grandmother.
But if you're rapping, if she's watching you perform and you're cursing,
she hears. Well, my grandmother never been to one of my shows. You know what I'm saying? But she have heard my music before, and she was like, "You did a good job, whatever. I like your music." But I never curse in front of my grandmother. I have respect.
No, of course. But
but yeah, she never saw me. I would still curse in front of my grandmother. That's my music, and she's coming to my show. No disrespect to my grandmother. But for me, it's just the timing. Like, she wants to spend time with me, and I gotta go to the studio, or like it's a lot of things going on with these guys. Like I'm busy like a lot, so I gotta be like, I gotta just push her off. But I see my grandmother. I make time for her when I can. So it's more timing than anything.
Ali, what about you? I mean, I know you're not a performer, but long hours and going to the O.Nitty shows with all these women and how does it interfere?
Well, it's not just women at my show. Let's get that right. You say a lot of women like it's just a whole bunch of women. Well, that's not the case.
No, I think in my case it's they supportive, man. Like, my family is like the first family of A.R.M Records. You know what I'm saying? From my lady Story to my cousin Medina, and which is more like my sister Shonda. I mean, notice I'm naming women, but they go hard. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to not include them. You know what I mean? Because they just that supportive. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a little easy. You know what I mean? My lady sometimes is a little different, because she come in the living room like, "You still on the computer?" All right, cut it off. And it's like, I gotta shut it down. You know what I mean? So I understand that, but other than that, like I said, they're just big supporting cast. Like, even for the barbecues, like, they did all the work. They did all the cooking. They got a lot of the stuff. So for me, it's more of a blessing. I don't have that problem like, why you doing this and why you doing that. So it kind of worked out.
They understand. That's the same thing with my wife. I'm married with 2 kids, so a lot of the times that she's not able to come to a lot of my shows because she has to be home with the boys and not able to come out. And you know, but she understand, you know, when I gotta go out of town and, you know, do the music thing, she understand. She just makes sure I'm right and I'm good. You know, she know I love being in this music industry, you know, and she's my biggest supporter. So that makes my day easy, you know. And like I said, when I get on that stage, in the back of my mind is my wife is home, so I'm not gonna be on stage disrespecting her, even though she's not here. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm an entertainer, like I said, but at the same time, I am a husband, and I'm not gonna be on stage, you know, just disrespecting what I have at home. You know,
Right.
so, you know, definitely it's hard. It's a hard line to walk because a lot of artists, male artists, is already seen as dogs, and all these women are on them, and you
Thanks
know.
for keeping it in your pants. Thank you.
This is the only way to be.
You're welcome.
It's the only way
You're
to be.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Well, A.R.M Records, O.Nitty, KO, Ali-Quan, I want to thank you so much for stopping by on the Vanessa JC show and telling us the short version of your story. You know, I'm sure when we listen to your music, we're going to get a better understanding of your background and, you know, when your book comes out and your other future projects that you have going on. And, you know, before we leave, just tell everybody like your social media handles and how they can contact you and reach you, and maybe an artist that might watch this might want to send you some stuff for you to listen to see if they could get signed to your label, to A.R.M Records.
My social media is all the same, CEO _ A.R.M Records. You know, so that's Twitter, that's Instagram, Facebook. It's all the same. And as far as artists, you can reach us at armrecords@gmail.com. We pretty much get, you know, a lot of stuff there, so we actually working on like a second private email because we already get flooded, but that one's still active, so they can reach us on armrecords@gmail.com.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple. You can actually just go on www.armrecords.com and you can just, you know, find my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, all right there.
Yeah, that was
very good.
Mine's a little bit more technical. Now you can go to, like I said, you can go to armrecords.com. Become an O.Nitty fan. Just go to O.Nitty Music /Facebook. You want to follow me on Instagram, O.Nitty Music. Real easy. You know what I mean? That's how we get down on A.R.M Records. You know.
Shout out to Vanessa.
Yes,
Appreciate
definitely want to shout out to you
always
for having us. You know, your dog coming through. You know, giving us shots. You know, I also want to thank the president of the company too, Anthony Bowles. I know a lot of times y'all don't see him on film.
He's in the building.
Yeah, he's in the building. He's back there, you know, on the cell phone, making sure business is going as planned. Even though it's a Sunday, we still business. You know what I'm saying?
Work don't stop.
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to all our fans, all our supporters. You know.
Okay.
Yep. Marksman Films.
All day.
Behind the
Appreciate you again, Miss Vanessa.
You're welcome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to the Vanessa JC show today for our special exclusive interview with A.R.M Records right here on armrecords.com. Right? Is that armrecords.com and on YouTube armrecordstv.com, or I'm sorry, A.R.M Records TV. You're gonna get that, or you already have it?
Yeah, actually for YouTube it's just A.R.M Records.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm adding a TV in there, but it's on YouTube A.R.M Records. Okay, A.R.M Records. So stay tuned, check them out, buy their music, and so long for now.